I mean, I never used to, relax my hair that often because my hair is quite cooly, as people would like to call it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's fairly easy to manage. What the problem was with me is that it just used to frizz all the time, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hated it. I hated the frizz. So
Yeah.
for me, relaxing it was the easiest way to get rid of the frizz.
Right.
But at the
Okay.
same time, it was just a case of me learning how to manage my hair properly because I didn't have that knowledge.
Mhm.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't until I met you and you totally inspired me with your story and how amazing your hair looked for me to think, actually, do you know what? Yeah, I can do this as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can
Did
do
you
this.
ever have any highs and any lows during your natural hair journey? I mean, prior to linking up with myself and, me teaching you and showing you how to manage.
Um, highs and lows. I think, like I said, I think it's just, you know, when I was relaxing my hair, and then obviously I didn't feel like the relaxer stayed in my hair that long.
Right.
I feel like my hair has its own kind of mind. It does what it
Yeah,
feels
mind of
like.
its own.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It kind of does what it feels like doing.
Yeah.
So being able to keep it under control was why I relaxed it. But then as soon as the relaxer started to come out and the roots of my hair would be all frizzy and the ends would be
Right.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was just this constant battle of trying to maintain it
Right.
in
Okay.
one way or another. So, and I think the thing that I've learned the most, especially from you, is the different products.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that I needed to have protein in my hair.
Yeah. Yeah. It
I
is.
didn't
It
know that.
is. It is a lot to learn, and if it's like you're in a literally you've been dipped in a maze, and it's like you don't even know which way to go. And we weren't taught this from a young age,
Mm,
how to manage our hair. They need to put this in secondary schools and primary schools. It needs to be an education, because when I literally learned and done my research on natural hair and learned about natural hair, I felt like, why didn't I know this years ago? Like,
mm,
so much people have been deprived of this information. Like, it's just, I felt like it was almost unfair. Like, so yeah, it's definitely something that we need to educate ourselves on, and we need to educate and empower the younger generation, because
yeah,
I don't want
definitely.
another young person or my little cousin going through the exact same things that I had to go through. you
Mm,
know what about
yeah.
you, Nadia? What's your hair journey been like?
Um, Goodness, if we're going way back now, I'd say that I've done quite a few things with my hair in the past. Everything from
Yeah.
the relaxer, curly perm or Jerry curl. um, yes, everyone remembers how messy that was. I'm sure
Oh gosh.
spraying my hair with different colors and everything, and then
Mm,
um, just after, well, actually, I think midway through my first year of college, I stopped relaxing my hair and just
yeah.
started braiding it. Um, and then I guess by the time we got to like 2002, I'd say, it was the box braids that we were doing, the cane rows and what have you.
Yeah.
Um, and then I remember getting to university, and it was 2003, and this is where the story kind of goes a bit up and down now. Um, so I remember I was invited to be a bridesmaid, and I've got two bridesmaid stories about this hair. And the first one, so uh, they, to my annoyance, and it's my fault as well, just not having the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, okay, you're going to have to relax your hair," and I thought, "Why?" And then I relaxed my hair. I know. I relaxed my hair for this wedding, only for them to then put tracks in. And the only part of my hair that was left out was they did the flat twist in the front, which my natural hair could have done. It could have
Yeah.
sat down with that. So it was pointless. So then after that, I remember I asked my mum to just cut my hair, and she just cut. I got her to. I gave her the scissors, not even clippers, scissors, and I said, you just please just cut my hair? Then I went back to
Yes.
university, and just and just continued with leaving it natural and would braid it up. Fast forward a few years later, let's see, I was wearing loads of weaves, so my hair was actually really, really growing underneath. And I used to go and get my hair in the weave washed like every week or every other week. So I took quite good care of it. And the lady that at the time that was managing my hair, she was really good, and I guess she had growing hands because my hair just grew.
Yeah.
And then let's see, okay, then after that, just trying to remember. So I remember it's 2008 now, and I found myself relaxing my hair on the whim again as a young lady, just to go out. Silly, biggest mistake. And then ended up just having my hair cropped short for a while, because I didn't like how thin my hair had become from the relaxer. And then I chopped it off again in, which would have been my second big chop, 2009. And that was interesting actually, because well, I shouldn't say never, but for me, I did the big chop, and then I went to a family do, and you hear all these things from family. You know, we went to a birthday of a mature relative of mine, and the first thing that the birthday person said to me was, "What have you done to your hair?"
Yeah.
Because there's that whole thing of, oh, you're a female, why have you cut your hair so low? And that was the journey then. And then fast forward again, it was a wedding. I could put my hair in a chignon, which was what was requested of me. But then the bride insisted that I got braids, and then I got braids, and then my hairline snapped, and I took those braids out straight away. So the challenge for me on this journey has been the hairline, trying to knead it back to where it was prior to that. And last year during lockdown, it was one of those hot evenings. I decided to just cut my hair. My hair had reached, let's say, bra strap length, and then I decided to just cut it to, and it's growing already. So
what made you decide to cut your hair after growing it so long?
For me, oh my goodness, it was a bit of frustration actually, because if I'm being honest, I think it's nice to have the length, but I guess for me it was just maintaining it, the tangling and what have you. It just became so tiresome, and I had so much going on personally, work and what have you, that I just thought, okay, the easiest way around this is to just get the pair of scissors and snip. And I stared at the scissors for about 2 hours.
And
I left them on the side.
And I can imagine if only you had at the time the tools to know exactly how to manage your hair at that time during, with that length, you probably would have not made that decision, right?
Right. Or maybe I would have gone that low.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it grows. That's the beautiful thing of it, is that it grows, and that's where I'm at now. So.
Definitely. And the thing is that the longer your hair grows, you can't keep doing the same thing. Your regimen has to change the longer your hair grows. And finger detangling is so important, like majorly important. Things like co-washing our hair and deep conditioning our hair and having the right hair care regimen is so important. And they're things that we're not taught.
True. And actually, something I would add is in secondary school, I can remember, not secondary, in college, I can remember my father actually saying, before you comb your hair, you should wet it. But because we've come up, 90s, everyone said, oh no, black girls, you shouldn't put water in your hair. We ran away from the rain, from swimming. And then, 100 years later now, what are we doing? We've all got spray bottles and we're spraying our hair with water. I should have listened to my dad.
We've all been taught that water's bad for our hair, that it will dry out your hair. And it's not the truth. That's the thing. And so many of us have been deprived from actually caring for our hair because we weren't taught the right methods in order to do so. Thank you, Nadia, and thank you, Dion, for sharing your journeys. How about yourself, Tamar? What's your hair journey been like?
It's been a journey. So I had relaxed hair. My mum, she relaxed my hair, I think, from the age of 5 or 6. She was advised to relax my hair because my hair was thick. So she was advised by a black lady to relax my hair. So she did it, and my hair was still thick. And I remember crying and hiding the comb or sucking on a lollipop to try and get the pain away.
Yeah.
And I didn't choose to go natural because I liked my relaxed hair. I would look after it. I would get treatments. I was really curious about what my natural curls would be, but I never wanted to do the big chop. I'm not as brave as you, Nadia. And I don't know, but I went to Mexico, and I'm not a girl that can relax your own hair. I would used to get my mum to do it. I'd go to the shop and never took a relaxer to my hair myself. So I was like, okay, here's a chance. Let's try it out. So I lived in Mexico for over a year. So I just didn't have access to hair products, access to getting my hair relaxed. And so that's kind of why I went natural. I remember people used to be really quite mean at me because I used to relax my hair. They're like, oh, your chemicals, you're ruining your brain, all this silliness. And you don't realize how harsh the chemical is, but I enjoyed it. But I love the versatility that I have now with my natural hair. I am still learning. I've been natural for 6 years now, so I'm still learning. And as you said, the longer your hair gets, the more that you have to switch it up.
Yeah.
And there's so many textures in my head.
I mean, it's very common to have at least 2 or 3 hair textures and hair types in your hair. And the more you get to know your natural hair, the more you'll know, okay, maybe I need to put a little bit more in this area. Like I have to put more products in the back of my hair than I do at the front of my hair. And that's just, throughout your journey, you'll start to pick up on these things, and even like using chemicals, it's very important to educate yourself, because even when you use hair dyes and hair chemicals, it actually breaks the bonds in your natural hair, and it makes your hair more high porosity. These things we weren't taught. We was just taught, put the hot iron comb over your hair, or just perm your hair to make it easier. But actually, it makes it easier in a sense that you're straightening your hair, but the health, it really does damage your hair. And once the cuticle layers in your natural hair are raised, it's irreversible. And that's why you have to do the big chop, or you have to do that long-term transitioning. But I'm so happy. That's why I'm doing this natural hair course, to help like women, because what do you do when you get into that situation when you want to transition, but you want to transition properly, right? And you want to do the big chop, but how do I go through the mental transition during the big chop and during that long-term transition? There's so many people who do transitioning and they make so many mistakes and end up breaking their hair because they're not doing it properly. And the fantastic thing is that everything is in one place with this natural hair course. And so, Tamar, wouldn't you have loved that?
I really would have, because the struggle was real. Like I had a mini afro and straight bits. Because there was no hair, like I didn't trust any hair salons out there. I wasn't about to take scissors to my own hair. I think I met up with my mum in America, and I was like, Mum, I love the accents, I can't cope anymore. And I went to like this short, and I'd never been that short. And I cried. I had a big meltdown. I was like, Mum, what have you done to me? And she's like, you asked me to. I was like, but it's just like they're learning to style it that length and kind of just embrace, what God gave me. Right. It has been a mental journey. about loving yourself more and accepting everything that, like, this is who you are, this is who God gave you, and it is beautiful, it is different, it is afro, it is thick, it is coily.
It's beautiful.
I
mean, in terms of my hair journey, I permed my hair when I was 8 years old, and I continued to perm my hair. I mean, my mum gave me permission. I begged her because I hated my hair, I hated my texture, I didn't like my hair, and I hated being called nappy heads and picky head and all these things, pepper grains when you was at school. It's horrible. And so the stigmas around my hair type made me not like my hair. So I tried to change my hair, right? So I did the perming, I put weaves in for a long period of time. And then I tried to go natural with no understanding, with lack of understanding. And I didn't really see my hair grow, you know, I didn't really see much hair retention. And then I did the keratin treatment and I was consistently blow drying my hair. My hair grew to about there, but my curl pattern was ruined. So I didn't really have a curl pattern. But during my natural hair journey, after educating myself, as I said, and learning and, you know, all my experiences and everything like that, it's been an incredible journey. I've learned so much. And actually, if you do have a problem with curl consistency, even though not all your curls will be identical, if you have heat damage and if you have like, if you've chemically processed your hair, even though it's irreversible, that there is a product out there, which is a bond builder, which actually does help you get your curl pattern back, which is in my course, girl.
Tell me more, girl. Tell me more, because this side of my hair is just like...
When I discovered this bond builder, it's not a protein treatment. It's not even like a chemical, you know, treatment. It's a bond perfecter.
Really?
So if you're trying to get your curl pattern back, girl, listen, I've got some stuff in my course that I just can't wait. I can't wait to share it with people.
I think that's definitely something that I need to get hold of. I remember you telling me about it a few weeks ago, but I think, you know, the problem with my hair, because it's still got relaxer in it, the front of it is quite wavy. I'm somewhere between a 2C and a 3B or something like that, depending on which part of my hair you look at. The front of it is quite straight, but the back of it's a lot curlier. So to get that consistency of curl pattern would be great.
Amazing. So yeah, I mean, okay, so moving on to, so we've spoken about our hair journey. So talking about hair products now, this is a common issue. Like, a lot of people have been asking me, like, what hair products do I use for my hair? Like, I'm really, really stuck. The thing is about hair products, excuse me, is it's really important to understand your hair texture, your hair type, your hair density, hair porosity, and all of that. Yes. But it's also important to understand that when you walk into a hair shop, right, most hair products fit into two categories, and it's protein-based or moisture-based. So we talk about protein-based hair products are more reconstructing and rebuilding. And then you've got the moisture-based, which is more about, you know, moisture and deep conditioning. It's very important to have that balance in your hair. And so, yeah, so guys, I wanna give you my go-tos in terms of hair products. Now, I've got 4C type of hair. I've got a little bit of 3C, I would say, at the front, but not a lot. And I have low porosity hair, and so I love chamomile rose. Like, I don't know if you guys have tried that, but chamomile rose is so nice. Their deep conditioner is fantastic. Like, I love it. Like, it just melts into your hair like butter. Like, every single time I wash my hair,
butter.
I use that.
Oh, like butter.
It's so nice. And obviously, like, I love the Oplex conditioner. I love that one as well. I love Kerry Care Curl Essence. That is a moisturizing shampoo and conditioner. I also love TGIN. And yeah, so even in terms of ingredients, like, you've got to be so careful. You've got to examine your ingredients when you go into the hair shop. And like I said, that's all in my natural hair course. But yeah, like, it's really important to educate yourself on these things. And talking about natural, natural ingredients. I love aloe vera plant, avocado. I love putting eggs in my hair. Listen, I love saving money. I love to make my own hair products, right? So I've also put that in my course. But have you guys ever tried any natural ingredients? You've never tried it, you don't know what you're missing. So what sort of hair products do you guys use? And do you look at the ingredients when you go into a shop? Be honest. We're going to be open and transparent now. Do you guys look at your ingredients when you go?
I'll be honest, I didn't, but I do now. I still don't understand half of what's on there.
Going in to buy my course.
but I do, you know, I do pay more attention to it now, definitely. I'll be honest as well, I need to kind of find a protein-based product to use on my hair. And I know you said you're not supposed to use it too regularly, isn't it? Like the ratio about 80-20 or 70-30%, something like that.
80% protein, 20% moisture in your hair.
No,
sorry, 20% protein, 80% moisture.
That's the one. Yeah, so you know, I do use moisture-based products on my hair. I spritz my hair. I've got the spray bottle as well, so spritzing that.
Good.
And you know, protective hairstyles and all the rest of it. So I'm getting into a regimen and I'm getting into a flow with it. But I think I still need to do a little bit more work on my hair products, especially the protein side of stuff. So I'm still working on that bit. But with your help, I know I will get there. Thank you.
Yeah, because the standard things, the standard ingredients that we know to stay away from, parabens, mineral oil, you know, sulfates, formaldehyde, all these things are on most of the black hair care products anyway. But there are other things also that you need to be very, very careful of. And it's just having an awareness, like even things like apple cider vinegar is really good, but it's actually quite stripping for your hair. So, you know, even in terms of like, if you've got apple cider vinegar in some of your hair care products, if you find that your hair is, you moisturize your hair sometimes, and then like an hour later, you're thinking, why is my hair dry still? Things like knowing that apple cider vinegar is quite stripping, that helps, you see. And if you want to keep your hair moisturized, having that knowledge, it really, really does help. I remember, years ago, when I was thinking, I want to dye my hair. Like I did dye my hair, but prior to that, I did highlights and it broke my hair when I had no clue what to do with natural hair and I had no understanding or education behind it. And I remember I said, I'm going to try like henna, and I did. And I put lemons in it and coffee because that was the thing to do, right? Not knowing that lemons is also, even though they say it does give you highlights, lemons and coffee, it made my hair so dry. It literally changed the texture of my hair. So knowing which products are alkaline and which products are more acidic, girl, listen, we need to know these things. Not everything on YouTube and on Google is correct. Not everything, not everything. So you really have to be so careful with what advice and information you do follow.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the same as like, the same as you kind of learn about, the things you can eat. That your body can tolerate. It's the same with your hair. You got to learn what your hair can tolerate, because and not necessarily, doing the same thing as someone else, because we're all individual. All of our hair is different. It all performs in a different way. Even when I used to relax my hair, it would still be curly.
Right.
I think my curls were like fighting to come out because I see other people relax their hair, and then when they've finished relaxing it, it's straight, whereas mine was curly. And it's like, why is my hair still curly even though I've relaxed it? That doesn't make sense. So I think my hair was secretly fighting to be natural for a long time.
For a long time.
I can relate to that actually. When I that time that I was relaxing my hair and also dyeing it jet black, the hairdresser would always be really frustrated because once he'd finished, all of my nape started to wave, literally, and And it's just one of those things, like what you were saying earlier on. We have so many different textures,
Right.
you know, so they all have to be managed differently to a certain degree as well. We need to be fully aware. So yeah.
That's right. That's right. And one of the things that I love to do as well, like I said in my course, is it teaches you how to make your own your own conditioner, your own deep conditioner, your own detangler from your kitchen. Yeah, your own hair gel. Have you guys ever tried flaxseeds?
I actually, yes, I have tried flaxseed gel, but
Amazing.
I did something, I think I might have left it and it stank, and I put it in my hair and my friend was like, Tamer, and I was like, can you smell it? And it stank. Maybe I left it a bit too long, but
yeah.
no. And I just stayed away from DIY. And I'm a bit of a product junkie. I'm always trying new things. I'm actually subscribed to something that sends me something every month. I don't know products, but
oh, I love making my own hair gels and things like that. It's just, yeah, amazing. And I'm all about saving money, because I used to be a product junkie, and then I realized, hold on a minute, if I can put fruits and vegetables and things like that in my hair, that's going to benefit my hair more. And it's 100% natural. It's actually, since I started using natural ingredients, I've noticed that my hair is thicker, much more thicker, and I'm not struggling with hair thinning and hair shedding as much as I used to. So yeah, I definitely would recommend you guys trying that. But then, so moving on to hair growth. So this was a big topic when I did my last live. Everybody wants to know, how do you grow your hair? How do you grow your hair? But the key thing is hair retention. And the thing about natural hair is, especially if you're 4C or 4B or 4A, it's so deceiving. Your hair looks short, but it's not short. Like, I have the most shrinkage. Like my shrinkage will literally go up to my ear, and it will look like my hair is so short. I have found so many ways to kind of stretch my hair out by using no heat, and it's just been, amazing. But yeah, if I stretch my hair out like now, I would say it would be about hair. But I haven't blow dried my hair in such a long time. I'm really trying to kind of stay off the heat. And if I do blow dry my hair, I always use like cold air or low heat, because I don't want that heat damage, because my hair years ago, it broke so much because of the heat damage. So I try not to, I try to air dry my hair and things like that. But in terms of hair growth, like, there are like 4 stages. I mean, it's most commonly known that there's 3 stages, which is it's the growth stage, it's the resting stage, and the shedding stage, right? And each stage can last months, or it can last years. It can last like 7 to 10 years, believe it or not, and Lord, I pray, we want to be in a growth stage forever. We want to be in a growth stage forever. But the key thing is maximizing, when you're in that growth stage, it's maximizing your potential to hold on to hair retention. Yeah, that is the key thing, because little things can cause our hair to break, right? Little things like, if you don't finger detangle your hair properly, and finger detangling on dry hair is just not the one. Do not finger detangle your hair on dry hair. Always make sure that your hair is moist, But little things like not finger detangling our hair properly, or like, them days when you just ain't got the patience and you're just like, I'm tired and I can't be bothered to do my hair. I always say to people, like, if you're tired or frustrated or angry, don't do your hair. Like, that's the worst time to do your hair. Do you get the most hair breakage, like, when you're trying to rush through your hair? Like, you're better off just leaving it and just wrapping it and just going. Like, just moisturize your hair, wrap it, and just go. Because if you're trying to get hair retention, those are the things that really do. They're curl pits, and things like leaving your hair too long, not washing your hair enough, not washing your hair often enough. I realized that the more I co-wash my hair and wash my hair with shampoo, like, every 7 to 10 days, the more I do that, the curlier my hair gets. and the more easier my hair gets. The longer you leave your hair between, the longer you leave the wash days, the more difficult it is for you to manage your hair. And then you're only going to lose more hair. You're going to get more breakage because there's more knots, more tangles, more product buildup. Those things are just not good for your hair. So having a hair care regimen, a healthy hair care regimen, is so important to hair retention. But yeah, don't be fooled by the shrinkage, guys.
Yeah, I had to stretch my hair and it always just slowly goes back. I think one day I washed my hair, styled it, and I went out and I was like, we're just going to embrace the shrinkage. But it was like,
Yeah.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Started off down here and then whoop. So
Yeah,
it's about embracing each stage. So I will leave the house looking one way, I will come back looking a different way.
a different way. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's, you know, when I my hair is probably just around the middle of my shoulder blades. It's about that long.
Yeah.
About standing here somewhere. But when I wash it, it's definitely up here.
Yeah.
Sitting on my shoulders. When I know it's at least another 4 inches longer than that. But it's like you said, you just have to kind of embrace the fact that it's going to change.
Exactly.
Over the course of the day, it will change from one thing to something else.
Yeah.
And if you want to kind of maintain the style, if you're having it out, you have to kind of just keep spritzing and moisturizing it.
Yeah.
As often as possible throughout the day.
That's absolutely say as well, you know, with regards to like the hair retention as well. I think what many forget about is the fact that we've got to keep our scalp clean in order for the new growth to come, as well as, you know, taking care of our ends. Your scalp, if you don't take care of that, you know, you're defeating the purpose. That's what I've learned over the years. So
were you ever told, isn't it? Do you remember?
Sorry?
Do you remember back when we was younger? I don't know about you, but I was always told to keep my hair dirty.
Yeah. The dirtier, the better. Apparently.
Yeah, it grows your hair.
Grows your hair.
Not like I would go like a month without washing my hair. The water would be brown. I'm exposing myself here, but I just wouldn't wash it.
You're not alone. Don't worry. You're not alone.
Yeah.
There might be people out there that don't want to admit it, but we all went through that. Definitely.
More product. It's okay. If I can still feel it soft, it's good.
There is also a last stage that I didn't mention earlier. So you've got those 3 stages, right? So you've got the growth stage, the resting stage, and the shedding stage. But there is a last stage, but not everybody goes through that stage. But it's a stage where your hair just stays dormant because it's preparing itself to shed. But it's very important to understand how to manage your hair during each stage. Yeah. And don't be discouraged. Like if you are going through that stage, it's actually good to know that information, because then it's almost like you're not setting yourself up to be discouraged. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you feel like you've been one length for quite a long period of time, it could be that you're in that resting stage, you know, and sometimes that resting stage doesn't last very long. It can last up to 4 months, or it can last, you know, a couple of years. But just be encouraged. Sometimes we think, oh, my hair isn't growing, or, you know, why is my hair shedding? It might not be that your hair is necessarily, it might not be that anything's necessarily wrong in terms of like, I've done something to cause hair breakage. It could be that you're in that stage of your life. Do you see what I mean? And can you imagine that some people probably are going through that stage and then they'll just go and cut their hair off because they feel like my hair's breaking, but it might not be that. It just could be the stages that you're going through. A lot of people don't know about, you know, these different stages. You know, it's good to know these things and have that knowledge, you know. So yes. And so I don't know if you guys have heard about MSN. Have you guys heard about MSN? We're talking about hair growth. A lot of people are using like MSN to grow their hair, but actually MSN doesn't grow your hair. It only makes the vitamins that you're taking work. So if you are,
what does it stand for?
yeah, MSN is like it comes in powder form, so it's actually good for your body, but it's also good for hair growth. But it's quite popular on YouTube. I mean, some people have used it and they've said that, you know, their hair's grown and things like that. But actually, it only kickstarts what you're currently doing. So if you're taking supplements and vitamins, it kind of helps that to work. It doesn't necessarily grow your hair. And you have to be careful with vitamins as well, because did you know that the overuse of taking vitamins can actually cause hair thinning? Did you know that? No. So everything in moderation. I mean, in terms of like growing your hair, if your hair is thinning, so going on to hair thinning, if your hair is thinning, sometimes hair thinning could be a internal thing that's happening. So it could be like a result of something that's happening internally. So for example, it could be your hormones, it could be menopause, it could be fibroids, it could be a health issue, you know, things like alopecia and things like that. Even like things like contraception, you know, things like what else, pregnancy, different things, stress. Those are common things that can cause hair thinning, and there are things that you can do to help prevent hair thinning, or even if you're going through hair thinning, things that you can do just to try and get the thickness of your hair back. You know, have you guys ever experienced hair thinning? How about you, Nadia? You ever experienced hair thinning?
Yeah, it was around my hairline.
Yeah.
And it was a time where I was on a course of medication and I found that it started to thin out. And it was at that point where then I started to wear what I called hats, aka a wig, you know, because I became conscious of my hairline. I was like, oh my gosh, probably I've, you know, this over exaggerated my experience in my mind, because it was literally just a little, you know, maybe not even a centimeter, but it was, for me, it made such a difference because I was so accustomed to holding my hair back as well. And then I thought, oh, I can't do this anymore. And it was attributed to the medication that I was on. So then my hair went quite limp. And then once I was off of that medication, and my hair just started to, you know, flourish again. Yeah.
And the thing is, if you are on medication, it's always good to consult your doctor if you do decide to take vitamin supplements. Vitamin supplements are great anyway. Things like biotin, you know, is really good. Folic acid, you know, iron deficiency is a common, you know, deficiency amongst women as well. So things like that. But if you are taking medication, definitely consult your doctor on that. And massaging your scalp, you know, doing things like that, and essential oils, and mixing it with carrier oils such as jojoba oil. One oil that is really, you know, one thing that's really, really good is onion juice mixed with cayenne pepper. Yeah, that is really, really good. The cayenne pepper, if you're looking for natural ingredients, the cayenne pepper stimulates the blood flow around your scalp.
Right?
It gives a little kick, and it's really, really good. So if you want to, you know, mix, I boil it. So I boil that, put 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper in it, boil it, and then I just add that to my hair, and then shampoo, and then condition and deep condition. That's really good. And add in a little bit of peppermint oil to your carrier oil, and just giving your scalp a massage. I remember when I lost the sides of my hair because I went to a lady who put weave in my hair, and she literally tore out the sides of my hairline, like, and I had to grow back my hairline, and it was really, really weak. So those are the things that I did, you know. Just, have you seen those massaging things? Yeah, those head massaging things.
Got one. Yeah.
And even it's great. And even popping that into your spray bottle, just putting it on your scalp every night is really good, and giving your scalp a massage. Yes, it's so good. But I think as ladies, I think we need to just be careful. Like, we need to make sure we don't pull our hair too tight as well.
You know, when you get used to just I started getting used to like the low slick burn because I've got a lot of hair. It was a lot of gel. You slick half of it, put it in a ponytail, get the other one and dash on the gel, and you take it out. You're like, my poor edges. And it's like, yeah, I've got to be more comfortable with just rocking it out. But I feel that sometimes my protector styles take too long to dry.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And because I'm always out and sometimes it's just like I don't want to go out like that all the time. So
yeah. That could be your porosity.
It is like
you've got low porosity. It sounds like, yeah, if you've got low porosity hair, then your hair will take longer to dry.
I have to tell you, I think I used to put so much product in it, it was making it longer to dry. And I just so I'm trying to learn what's enough product, what's too much product, and then get it right.
Yeah, I always say, like, your hair should never feel like clammy and weighed down. And even when you're spritzing your hair with water, like, it shouldn't be dripping wet. Just a good spritz in the air is absolutely fine. Have you guys ever heard of high brow fatigue?
No.
Yeah, so that's like when your hair expands and it expands and decreases too often. So yeah, high brow fatigue, that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah. I think my hair's high porosity. It gets wet easy, gets wet. But obviously that's where it's been relaxed before, so the bonds are broken.
Yeah.
So I know that my hair gets wet easily.
Yeah.
So I need to kind of get used to the balance of how much I spritz my hair, because I probably spritz it too much because it does drip a little bit.
Yeah.
So I do need to kind of like maybe hold it at a distance.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Yeah. And then, you know, there's ways that you can lower your porosity, Dion. There's actually things that you can do to lower the porosity of your hair. And if you have low porosity hair and you want to, because low porosity hair means the cuticle layers. For those of you who don't know what low porosity and high porosity is, the viewers, let me just explain. So if you have low porosity hair, then it means that the cuticle layers of your hair are flat. And that means that if they're flat, it means that if you put products on your hair, if you spritz your hair with water, you know, they don't go into the hair shaft, they sit on top. So you'll find that people with low porosity hair, they have a hard time absorbing moisture, and, you know, their hair kind of feels weighed down. You might find that when you're moisturizing your hair, you're thinking, why is most of the products on my hands instead of on my hair? Like, it's just too much. So yeah, that's what, like, and there are ways of you opening up those cuticle layers, which is also in my natural hair course. If you have high porosity hair, then it means your cuticle layers are swollen. It means that they're wide open. So when you moisturize your hair, the moisture goes in, but it also leaves the hair very quickly because it's wide open. So
it's the multiple spritzing.
Yeah. So it means that your hair probably gets really dry.
It does.
Yeah. It loses moisture quickly. And there are methods. So the way that I'm low porosity, so the way that you moisturize your hair has to be a different method to the way I moisturize my hair. That's why when you're on YouTube, and, you know, I'm not like speaking about YouTubers in a negative way, but for me, personally, what I've noticed is, like, you know, like when you don't know what to do with your natural hair, in the past where I didn't know what to do with my natural hair, and, you know, when you just follow any YouTuber, that's why it's not good to do that. It's better to educate yourself, because you could be following somebody and you don't even know what porosity they are. You don't know what texture they are. So you're trying to do the same thing as this girl on the screen, when she could have a different porosity from you and a different hair texture. And that's why you having that education and understanding is far better than just saying, okay, I'm going to follow this girl because she's got 250k followers. Do you see what I mean? It's so important to educate yourself. So yeah. Anyway, guys, in terms of legacy, I mean, Nadia, this is the last part that we're onto at the moment. So what would you say to the younger you in terms of natural hair, like, and, you know, encouragement, like, you know, what things would you say, like, in terms of like the old myths and the misconceptions, like, what encouragement would you give to the younger you who is natural?
Oh, okay. I'd say less is more. Just leave your hair alone. Stop playing with it. Take your hands out of your hair. You know, stop doing.
Oh my gosh, that was me.
Stop trying to stretch and see every 2 seconds. How long is it? How long? You know, and know that, you know, like, hair grows. Like, your hair does grow. Like, you know, the myth was always that if you've got thick, kinky hair, or as many like to, you know, do these types with a 4C, 4B, and what have you, that our hair doesn't grow. That's a lie, you know. So I'd say, yeah, leave your hair alone. Stop worrying about it and just enjoy yourself.
That's really good advice, really good encouragement. What about yourself, Tamar? What advice would you give to all the women out there who are trying to maintain their natural hair and feeling a bit discouraged? And yeah, what advice would you give to the younger you as well?
I would tell my younger self to wash the hair. I just didn't want to deal with it. I just was like, I used to use Tesco value gel and just slick it up. So I would tell my younger self to kind of embrace your hair. Even when I relaxed it, I was just like, I don't want to look at it. It was told it's hard work, so I believed the hard work. And now I think it's like you're saying, just take time. Don't do it when you're rushing. It's a whole day process, and that's okay. You know, take hair and I mean, and as well, I think, like you said, with the whole looking at the YouTube and thinking, well, I tried to do that style and it didn't work on me. Is that, you know, what works for my hair? What do I need to do? And just take time to learn your hair and that patience.
Yeah. What about you, Dion?
Yeah, probably the same, really. Just kind of just learn to love it. Just learn to love my hair the way that it is and understand it and take care of it in its natural form. I think we've been so brainwashed into thinking that our hair has to be straight and has to be you know, has to look a certain way. That we've all fallen into that. We've all fallen into that trap of thinking that we have to conform to a particular way of looking. You know, even a few weeks ago, my youngest son, and you know, this is just proof that it's not just girls that have this challenge. My younger son said to me, I wish my hair was straighter.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? He's got short hair. He's got short hair, but it's kind of like he's saying, oh, I wish my hair was straighter. And I'm like, you've got lovely hair. There's nothing wrong with your hair. Love your hair the way it is. Yeah. So, you know, just the fact that, you know, even, and he's 10, you know, kids of that age, you know, from the age of probably about 7 upwards, they're, you know, they're much more aware of themselves and how they're changing, because they do start to change from that age. And, you know, when they can see other kids who don't look like them and have different hair, and they can do all these different things to their hair, and they can't necessarily do that same thing to their own hair. Yeah, it is a little bit of paranoia for them, I guess, and kind of feeling like they don't fit in, or they don't look right, or that's not the way their hair should be. And for me, it's so important to, and I so wish that I'd had this information when I was younger. So wish, because I'm sure my hair would be, not that my hair is in really terrible condition right now, but I'm sure it would be even better if I'd have known this years ago. So as you said, it's about educating yourself and understanding that, you know, we shouldn't have to change the way we look just for somebody else to appreciate who we are. You know, we appreciate ourselves first, and then if somebody doesn't like it, well, then that's their problem. You know, you shouldn't have to conform. That's, you know, we are beautiful as we are. So it's just about embracing that. And I wish that, as I said, I'd have known this information when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know?
So. Yeah, definitely. definitely. I would say that I would tell all the women out there that just to not compare ourselves to each other. If you are doing that, that was me. And I would tell my younger self, you're beautiful as you are. Your hair is fine. You don't need to change your hair. You don't need to change your texture. Be you. Love your hair. Don't try to change it. Don't try to conform. And yeah, and just really, I wish I told myself when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11, you know, appreciate yourself, appreciate your hair, and love your hair the way it is. So yeah, you know, thank you guys so much. We've got some questions, so I'm just going to answer a couple of questions that people have asked. So bear with me for 2 seconds, guys, and I'll have a look and see what questions. Okay, so I've got a question from Janet Campbell. Hi, Janet. Everyone say hi to Janet.
Hi.
And she's asked, what advice for those who have started twists or locks? So, okay, so my son has locks, and I started his locks from scratch, okay, even though I don't have locks. The misconception around locks is that it doesn't need to be really taken care of because it's just locks, if that makes sense. But actually locks needs protein treatment. It needs water. Yeah. So you need to spritz your hair with water, just like natural hair. Yeah. Apply a carrier oil, but don't put oil on locks. Don't just put oil on the locks without putting some sort of moisture, some sort of water-based moisture in it. The thing is that you don't want to unravel your locks, right? But you can put water in your locks, and then you can apply jojoba oil or coconut oil, whichever carrier oil that you prefer. So carrier oils are things like coconut oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, sweet almond oil, and they all have their own benefits. They also have different thicknesses to it. So it really depends. If you're somebody who likes a light oil, then you can go for sweet almond oil or olive oil, or medium is like coconut oil. But if you're somebody who wants really heavy oil, then it would be castor oil or Jamaican black castor oil. So yeah, definitely you need to have a hair care regimen. So don't leave your hair unwashed for a long time. Make sure you wash it with sulfate-free shampoo still, and use a conditioner. You know, do your protein treatment and make sure that you're putting moisture in it every single day. That's definitely my advice. My son's hair is flourishing, and those are the things that I do to his hair, and everybody says he's got beautiful hair. So yeah, thank you for that question. I'm gonna go on to another question now. So I've got Kelly. Kelly is asked, hi Kelly. So Kelly has asked, how many times would I co-wash before a full wash with a deep condition? Okay, so that boils down to a hair care regimen. That is all in my natural hair course. I do co-wash my hair. If you're starting your hair journey, really and truly, then you really need to take my course. That is what you need to take, because it's going to give you everything that you need. And there's so much information that I could give you right now. It's too much to go into. But if you want to know how many times I co-washed my hair when I first started, every 3 to 4 days. Every 3 to 4 days, just to get my hair used to absorbing water, get your hair replenished. Co-washing is fantastic to put moisture in. If you are somebody who hasn't been on their natural hair journey, then your hair's probably not used to a lot of moisture and absorbing water. So by co-washing every 3 to 4 days, it's actually really good for your hair. Shampoo, I usually use that like it really depends on how much products you put in your hair. If you're somebody who's very product heavy when it comes to like doing your twist outs, and if you do bantu knots and things like that, if you're if you put a lot of styling products in your hair, then you can't just co-wash your hair. Do you see what I mean? You have to shampoo, you have to put shampoo in your hair. And so for somebody who is very product heavy, you know, puts a lot of products in their hair, then I would say shampoo your hair every 7 to 10 days using like a moisturizing shampoo or a clarifying shampoo. But if you're somebody who doesn't put a lot of products in, then you won't need to shampoo your hair as much. Do you see what I mean? Make sure that it's sulfate free and keep your scalp clean. Deep conditioning I do once a week. So I always deep condition my hair. In my natural hair course, it actually gives you 2 different types of hair regimens that you can do. So instead of you trying to figure out, okay, how much should I shampoo? How much should I co-wash? When should I deep condition? What products do I use? This course, it gives you everything that you need to know. And it doesn't just give you the science behind natural hair and the information to educate yourself, but it also gives you the methods. So you will never struggle to figure out, what do I need to do with my hair? Again, the reason why it's so important is because there's so many different shampoos. And a lot of us, you know, a lot of people don't know that, but there's so many different shampoos. There's clarifying, there's shampoos, chilitin shampoos, moisturizing shampoos, thickening shampoos. There's so many. And so you really need to understand which shampoo you need to use in your hair. So take the course, girl, buy the course. It's £91 at the moment. It's on sale and it ends tomorrow. It's tomorrow, isn't it, Dion? It ends tomorrow. After tomorrow, the course will go up to £140. So at the moment, it's £91 and it's got 10 30-minute modules in there. You know, I've got videos in there where I'm teaching you. I'm literally giving you that one-to-one in the course. It's got the theory. It's definitely worth it. So yeah, I will put the link. My admin team will put the link in this group afterwards. Thank you so much for your question, Kelly. I'm going to see if there's any more questions. I've got a comment from Vivian saying the dirtier the better. That's actually not true. That's really not true. That's like an old myth that we were taught when we were growing. If that's what you mean, Vivian, if you mean not washing your hair is good, if that's what you mean, if you don't mean that, then I do apologize. I wasn't taught that, but it's not. It's actually not true. Your scalp needs to breathe. And
being silly. Yeah, this is my brother. He's being silly.
Really?
I've got a brother called Vivian, and I'm like, he's silly.
Oh gosh, no. Yeah, we need to keep our scalp clean. We have to, because, and I tell you why. You might want to know why. I'm going to give you a little bit of science. Yeah, buy my course, but I'm going to give you a bit of science. Did you know? Yeah, right. So we produce a natural oil called sebum on our hair, right? That sebum turns to wax and it goes really hard. Now you've already got cells on top of that sebum. You've got cells grown from your scalp. So the old cells, you've got the sebum, which is turned to wax. Then you've got new cells trying to break through, right? So can you imagine? That's like 3 layers. If your scalp is not breathable, how are you going to grow your hair healthy and strong? Yeah. Wash your hair. Wash your hair. Definitely wash your hair. I was told that myth and that lie is not true. Definitely not true. Thank you so much, Vivian. Okay, so how do I get that ringlet shiny wet look? Okay, Heather, how do you get that ringlet shiny wet look? Okay, it really does depend on what you're using. Okay, now I said earlier that I started to find, when I was on my natural hair journey in the beginning, I started to find that the more I co-washed, the more I washed my hair, the more I started to see my curl pattern come through. Yeah, so yeah, it's all down to your shampoo and your conditioner that you use, your hair products, and it's also down to how often you co-wash and shampoo and take care of your hair. The more you take care of your hair, the more you're going to see your curl pattern come through. If you haven't got the right hair care regimen, your curl pattern's it's not gonna flourish. It's not gonna flourish. And actually, I can tell also when my hair needs washing because my curl pattern doesn't pop. I don't know if it happens to you guys, but my curls don't pop when my hair needs washing. And as soon as I put some water in my hair and I moisturize my hair and I co-wash, and I do all the things that I need to do in my hair care regimen, my curls just look so nice. So yes, what I want to suggest you do, Heather, is buy my course. It teaches you how to get curl consistency. And it also teaches you about curl pattern, curl type, and how to make your curls pop. There are methods that you can do as well. There's different methods. And one of them is shingling. Okay, so I'm just giving you little keynotes. There are lots of other methods in my course, but shingling is one of them. Okay, so moving on to another question. I've been trying to get Dave, but my scalp is so dry and itchy, although I do an oil steam treatment every 2 weeks. What advice can you give me? Okay, so I've got Vera Thomas on here, and she said that, hi Vera, just say hello to you. And she said that she's been trying the lock method daily, but her scalp is very dry and itchy, although she does an oil steam treatment every 2 weeks. What advice can you give me? Okay, so in terms of your scalp, with scalp dryness, sometimes it can be that you don't produce enough sebum on your scalp, because the sebum actually nourishes and moisturizes your scalp. If you have very low sebum production, then it means your scalp will get dry, in which case you can purchase a sort of like a sebum. It's like oils that mimic sebum and mimic what sebum does, and you can get them in places like Holland and Barrett's. A lot of carrier oils do kind of mimic what sebum does, but yeah, it could be that you don't produce enough sebum, in which case you need to oil your scalp, or it could be that you produce too much sebum. And then what happens if you produce too much sebum? It turns to wax, and then it gets very flaky. Yeah, it gets very flaky. And so, yeah, it really does depend. Again, all of this stuff is in my course, so I would definitely recommend you buy it. If you are oiling your scalp, also, it could be that you're using the wrong oil. So you may have to try using a different oil. I'm not sure what oil you are using. So, but in my course, it does teach you about the different essential oils, what their benefits are, and if you do have dry scalp, what you can do to prevent that from happening. So yeah, and also I think you mentioned something else in here. I do an oil. What advice can you give me? I'm trying the lock method daily. Yeah, also with the lock method, it's great that you're doing that on a daily basis. But with the lock method, so you've got the lock method, LOC, you've got LCO, or you've got the LC method, or you've got the LO method. Now, it depends on your porosity, which one is beneficial. So and again, that's all in my course as well. So, so you would need to do a porosity test, find out what porosity you are. And then in my course, it will tell you which moisturizing method will benefit your hair. Again, it does depend on what oils you're using, maybe the oils and moisturizer that you're using. It might be more protein based. It depends on the ingredients that are in your moisturizer. So if you're using a moisturizer and it hasn't got the right ingredients in there, then doing the lock method is not going to benefit your hair because you're using the wrong ingredients. And so again, my course, it teaches you how to know which ingredients to look for. So when you walk into a hair shop, you need to understand which moisturizing ingredients to look for. And it's got a whole list in there, what you need to look for in the course. So there's no more figuring out, okay, which one's moisture-based? Which one's going to moisturize my hair? It's got a list of ingredients in there that you need to look for. All right. And it goes beyond parabens and formaldehydes and sulfates and mineral oil. It goes way beyond that. It goes deeper. All right, so we've got another question. I think I've got some grey hair. Where the texture is coarse, but my hair is fine. Do you have any advice? I've got some grey hair. Okay, so I've got another question from Vera. And she said she's got grey hair and where the texture is coarse, but it's fine. Do you have any advice? Okay, so if you've got grey hair and you're trying to cover the grey hair, one of the things that you could do is use henna or cassia or indigo. They're really good, they're natural, but don't mix it with lemons or coffee, because it will it will have an effect on your hair texture, because lemons are very acidic. Okay, and so it can throw your hair balance completely off balance, and then you might find that your hair becomes more drier and more coarse. So using henna, but maybe just use water with it instead of lemons and coffee. Henna is also good for thickening the hair. So if you find that your hair is quite thin there, henna is really good to use. Avocado is very good to use if you're trying to thicken your hair. Essential oils like yang yang oil is very good. Peppermint oil is very good. Cayenne pepper is very good. If you mix it with onion juice by boiling it, those are really good methods to thicken your hair. Again, all of this is in my course, guys. And guess what? That was the last question, but guess what? This course, the pledge, you have to pledge for this course via Kickstarter campaign. So this Kickstarter campaign has been running since the 22nd of April, and tomorrow is the last day. So, you know, it's there for you. It's £91 at the moment. And do you know what? You may say that's expensive, but actually, is it expensive? Because some of us pay £150 for weave, like, but it's true. We pay £150 for weave. You know, I used to pay like £40 to go to the hairdressers to get a wash, to get a blow dry, and just like a treatment. £40, like 2 months, that's £80, right? So the course is £91. You have the course for a lifetime. This is going to teach you everything that you need to know. Do you see what I mean? When you go to the hairdressers, that's it. That's just one time, and you have to go pay your big money again.
What else could you spend that money on? If you save that money over the course of a year, that's your spending money to go on holiday.
Yeah, literally.
That's that handbag that you keep passing in the shop window that you think, I want that handbag, I can't afford it. Or the pair of shoes, or the dress, or whatever it is. We're coming out of lockdown now. You've got money that you want to spend. You want to go out. You want to do nice things. Spend it on that.
Yeah. It's an investment. It's definitely an investment. And I just feel like I'd rather, you know, when you start to take care of your own hair, there's nothing like the confidence that you get when you can manage your own hair. Like, it's just a freedom that you have. Like, I'm not against weave, by the way. Just what I put it out there. I'm not against weave. You know, I will put weave in my hair because we need to sometimes for protective hairstyling, right? It's good to put your hair away. But I used to feel, I think subconsciously, I think weave it didn't become a choice back in the day for me. It just became something that I had to resort to because I didn't know how to manage my hair. Do you see what I mean? It was just like something that I felt like I had to do because I just couldn't cope with my hair back in the day before I educated myself. So ladies, £91, the sale ends tomorrow. So go and grab the course, go and pledge for the course and support this campaign because it's for you, it's for your family, it's for the next generation. It's going to build your confidence, seriously. And you're going to save so much money and time. And it's going to be like, whoa, mind blowing. It's like it's going to open your eyes and you're going to be like, wow, I did not know this before. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you to everyone who came onto the live.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, Tamar. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Dion.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's on the live, who's actually watching and tuned in. Yay. So I'll speak to you guys soon. And yeah, reach out to me as well, guys. You can follow me on Instagram. It's rocketnatural_. There's loads of, you know, different videos on there. And also, if you want to pledge for the course, the £91, you can go onto my Instagram, rocketnatural_, go to the link in my bio, click the link in my bio, and it will take you to the Kickstarter page and give you all the information about pledging for the course. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.